Now, as per the tradition of our institute, let us start the program with prayer. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunatu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I would like to welcome Dr. Ghazala Javed ma'am once again to this platform to deliver the lecture Taking Care of Mental Health During Adversity. आपका एक बार मैं पुनः बहुत बहुत स्वागत करती हूँ मैम। इसके साथ ही साथ मैं संस्थान के संचार एवं प्रलेखन अधिकारी मोहम्मद तैयब आलम सर का भी बहुत बहुत स्वागत करती हूँ और उनसे अनुरोध करती हूँ कि कृपया आगे की कार्रवाई करें। सर।
Thank you, Dr. Vandana. Good evening, everyone. Respected Dr. Ghazala Javed ma'am is a research officer, scientist 4 in Central Council for Research in Unani Medicine, CCRUM, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India, where ma'am is involved in planning, implementation, coordination, and monitoring of research and development and other related activities. Ghazala ma'am is also in charge of drug standardization research unit in Delhi. During her 25 years job tenure, she has participated in many professional meetings and conferences and made a niche for herself as an expert for Central Council for Research in Unani Medicine and Ministry of Ayush. An alumna of Jamia Hamdard, she has an excellent academic record with gold medal to her credit. She has held PG diploma in IPR and WHO fellowships in managing public health program. She is a trained bioethicist and done a long-term training program in bioethics jointly conducted by ICMR NIH, USA. During her tenure of 8 years in the Ministry of Ayush, Government of India, she has looked after the work related to international cooperation and actively contributed to the globalization of Ayush systems. Amongst the other areas, she dealt explicitly with work related to American division, UN bodies like WHO, WIPO, UNESCO, etc. She has participated as a delegate from India several times in the Intergovernmental Committee meet on protection of traditional knowledge, traditional cultural expression, and folklore in World and Intellectual Property Organization, Geneva, and also took part as an international delegate in seminar on international intellectual property and traditional knowledge held at WIPO and talk about protection of traditional knowledge initiative from India. Ma'am has also involved in developing national position paper on protection of traditional health knowledge by closely working with the team from JNU, Jawaharlal Nehru University. Ghazala ma'am has served as an advisory member for the Forum of India Traditional Medicine set up by the Ministry of Ayush at Research and Information System for Developing Countries. Ma'am has deputed as a visiting scholar in Unani stream by National Center for Natural Products Research, the University of Mississippi, Oxford, USA for 3 months to get exposure and hand-on training in natural product research, where she has active interaction with the team US FDA. Ma'am has also worked as consultant from Ministry of Ayush for assisting the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, IFT, to conduct a study on export potential for Ayush products in SAARC and ASEAN countries. Dr. Ghazala Javed ma'am has the honor of featuring as the face of Unani in the book India's Most Powerful Woman, written by Ms. Ahluwalia, where she has featured with eminent personalities like Nazma Heptullah, Sushma Swaraj, Kiran Bedi, Mohini Giri, Menka Gandhi, among other eminent personalities. The book was released by Secretary General of United Nations, WTO, World Trade Organization in Berlin, Germany. Was also presented to the then Honorable President of India, Sri Pranab Mukherjee, at Rashtrapati Bhavan, where she was present as a special invitee. She has been conferred Make in India Award for Brilliant Contribution in the field of Unani medicine by Honorable Minister Sri Ashwini Chaubey, NCR Daily Ratan Award for the recognition of distinguished services rendered by her to the society at large in the 40th annual celebration 2019 All India Conference of Intellectuals. Ma'am has also been conferred Dr. Abdul Razzaq Award by All India Unani Tibbi Congress, an NGO dedicated to promoting Unani medicine. Ma'am has also been awarded one of the most prestigious Dr. Sarojini Award, International Award for Working Women, which was presented to 100 most important women from 15 countries of the world by Asian Academy of Arts, a three-decade-old organization in association with International Chamber of Media Industry during the 6th Global Literary Festival 2022. इसके बाद मैम सबसे बड़ी बात तो यह है कि मैम इज एक्टिवली ऑफ मुरारजी देसाई इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ योग। मैम को हमने जब भी इनवाइट किया है, मैम ने कभी भी मना नहीं किया है। मैम हमारे डिफरेंट प्रोग्राम्स में अपने यहाँ के स्टाफ की तरह से मैम ने पार्टिसिपेट किया, हमें इंकरेज किया। थैंक यू मैम फॉर एक्सेप्टिंग आवर इन्विटेशन फॉर द फ्राइडे वेबिनार, a popular event for social media friends, students, and staff of the Institute. With these few words, I would like to invite today's speaker, respected Dr. Ghazala Javed ma'am, to enlighten her student, staff, and faculty on today's topic, taking care of mental health during adversity. Ma'am.
Thank you, Tayyib ji, for that nice introduction. Indeed, it is an honor for me. And you rightly said, मेरा एसोसिएशन MDNIY के साथ बहुत अच्छा है, and मैं थैंकफुल हूँ, धन्यवाद करती हूँ डायरेक्टर सर भास्कर रेड्डी सर का भी, जो मुझे अपॉर्चुनिटीज देते हैं, और आपका भी, एंड थैंक यू वंदना. So I will share my screen.
Yes, ma'am, it is visible. It is visible.
Okay, thank you, Wanda. And I'm audible also, ready to go. Okay, so good evening, everyone. Once again, it is my honor to be here in this platform provided by MDNIY. I'll be talking on taking care of mental health during adversity. और ये मेरी प्रेजेंटेशन की आउटलाइन है. हम हेल्थ के बारे में बात करेंगे, मेंटल हेल्थ के बारे में, मेजर्स टू प्रोटेक्ट एंड प्रिजर्व मेंटल हेल्थ, स्ट्रेस को समझेंगे, एडवर्सिटी, रिजिलियंस एंड हाउ टू अचीव रिजिलियंस. फिर उसके बाद जैसे बताया गया है कि मैं यूनानी मेडिसिन से हूँ, मैं टच करूंगी यूनानी मेडिसिन और स्ट्रेस रिलीविंग मेजर्स को. अगर हम हेल्थ की डेफिनेशन देखते हैं, वी लुक एट द डेफिनेशन ऑफ हेल्थ, इट्स अ स्टेट ऑफ कंप्लीट फिजिकल, मेंटल एंड सोशल वेलबींग एंड नॉट मेरली द एब्सेंस ऑफ डिजीज और इन्फर्मिटी, जो वर्ल्ड हेल्थ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने दी है. हियर वी कैन सी दैट फिजिकल, मेंटल एंड सोशल वेलबींग इज एन इम्पॉर्टेंट component of this definition. These three are interlinked. If we see physical, mental and social well-being में these three are interlinked. अगर किसी एक component में भी problem है तो that will affect our health. तीनों का healthy होना is important to maintain our health. So mental health is a fundamental component of health, and recognition of mental disorders and awareness about its importance is limited. Sometimes there's stigma associated with, and there's lack of understanding. People do not want to discuss about mental disorders, but it is like any disease condition which should be taken care of, and as we take care of our physical health, we should also look at our mental health also. So there are many determinants like multiple social, psychological, and biological factors which determine the level of mental health of a person at any point of time. For example, violence and persistent socioeconomic pressures are recognized risks to mental health. So there can be many risks, and there are some association of poor mental health with rapid social change, stressful work condition, gender discrimination, social exclusion, and unhealthy lifestyle, physical ill health, many factors which are associated. And there are special psychological and personality factors also. If we are looking at mental health, it's strengthening our response, and it is more than the absence of mental disorders when we are talking of mental health. And as we just mentioned, it is an integral part of health and determined by a range of socioeconomic, biological, and environmental factors. So we basically work toward health promotion and mental health promotion and protection, which involves actions that improve our psychological well-being. And this may involve creating an environment that supports mental health. समझते हैं what is stress? Stress हम सबको पता है. We all know what is stress. It is the body's response to any physical or emotional change in life. And stress arises when we worry that we can't cope. It is our perception of an inability to cope versus an actual threat or harm. So stress is the wear and tear and our minds and bodies experience as we attempt to cope with our continually changing environment. It is a psychological and physical response to the demands of daily life that exceed a person's ability to cope successfully. Iske causes bhi, if we look at the causes, that are also three: mental, physical, and social. Causes can be there, which can affect our, which can cause stress, which will affect mental health. And forms of stress, according to American Psychological Association, stress can be categorized as acute, episodic, acute, and chronic. Acute stress is the most common form of stress and is a short term. It is described as reaction to an immediate threat, commonly referred to as the fight or flight response. And common causes of acute stress include noise, danger, crowding, or isolation. Second is episodic acute stress, where it is happening again and again, like people who are constantly involved in chaotic and demanding work, and these individuals are always in a rush and tend to take on too many tasks at one time. Individuals who worry a lot are also prone to episodic acute stress. Then third is chronic stress, which is defined as a type of stress that occurs over a long period of time from internal or external stressors. So chronic stress can be because of financial problems, death of a loved one, long-term relationship issues, demanding job or work schedule, any cause. So it is affecting our body, and it can be linked to or it can exacerbate various medical conditions like asthma, fatigue, back pain, arrhythmias, difficulty breathing, headaches, hypertension, irritable bowel syndrome, ulcers, suppression of the immune system, and fluctuations in blood glucose levels in diabetic patients that can take place. So both emotional and physical stress can have a significant negative impact on the heart and vascular system. And chronic stress has been shown to increase an individual's heart rate and blood pressure, thus making the heart work harder than normal. And some studies suggest that the inability to manage stress can be associated with the onset of depression or anxiety. So it is, basically, if we look at the manifestation of stress, it is psychosomatic. It's at psychic level, we can see it can be anxiety, depression, loss of interest, inability to concentrate. And at somatic level, altered immunity, metabolic disorder, and inflammatory response. So our responses to stress can be positive, can be tolerable, and can be toxic. So positive, it can be brief increases in heart rate, mild elevation in stress hormone levels, and we are able to cope with stress. Then tolerable, where it is seen as a temporary stress response buffered by supportive relationships. Toxic is when it is prolonged activation of stress response systems in the absence of protective relationships. So at that time, it can become toxic. The first is challenge response that motivates, increases confidence, and allows us to learn from the experience. So the difference between the fear-driven fight or flight response and the challenge response is that the positive response makes us focused and allows us to perform under pressure and can even lead to flow. So जो भी condition है, we'll take it as a challenging option and we'll try to address that. And second is the tend and befriend response that motivates us toward caregiving, increases courage and strengthens relationships. We feel compelled to connect to and protect others and to seek out support for ourselves. So how to take care of mental health during any adversity? So first understand what is adversity and what do we mean by when we are talking about adversity. So it can be any difficult or unpleasant situation, you know, life में उतार चढ़ाव तो आते ही रहते हैं, adverse or unfavorable fortune or fate, a condition marked by misfortune, calamity or distress, an adverse and unfortunate event or circumstance. So there can be many adversities in life, and there's a quote which we always say that resilience in the face of adversity is the mantra. So adversity leading to stress and its impact on health can have, as we just mentioned in a nutshell, stress can have serious health implication, increasing the risk of cardiovascular disease and exacerbating medical condition. जैसे मैंने अभी बताया था, asthma, diabetes and hypertension. And stress is unavoidable, but learning to manage it effectively is critical. So understanding resilience, it's the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties, toughness, and building resilience is an important part of growth and change. And there are several ways by using which we can cultivate and inspire resilience in people. A good start is finding a sentence like that resonates with you, it empowers you, it motivates you, and becomes a mantra you internally chant to yourself every day. So as we say, words can make or break you and can change your mindset. So combining the two, what is stress resilience? Stress resilience is a positive response to stress known as mature defense. So when we can take neutral or negative events and transform them into positive ones, we preserve the integrity of ourselves. We admire those who can turn adversity into an enjoyable challenge and sometimes call it courage. So we can see, there is individual variation. Some people are more open to or more, they are strong enough to take care of these challenges in a more healthy manner. But resilience is a positive adaptive trait that can be learned. We can build it up. ऐसा नहीं है कि अगर हमारे पास ये ट्रेट नहीं है and we do not know how to have that resilience, हम उसको develop नहीं कर सकते. We can develop. There are mechanisms for that. So there is a quote of Viktor Frankl, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. And we can increase stress resilience. There are three things which define our ability to cope with stress, and these include ways in which we manage challenges, protect our vulnerability, and increase our resources. The first one is recognizing our abilities through practicing compassion towards self than others. पहले आप खुद के सोचेंगे, खुद के बारे में सोचेंगे और समझेंगे, तब आप दूसरे के बारे में सोच सकते हैं. जैसे mindfulness and learning and resourcing ourselves through fostering gratitude and confidence, regulating our thoughts, feelings and actions by instilling calm and increasing motivation and intimacy, and relating positively to others and the world through courage, aspiration and generosity. So talking about compassion, it is recognizing our ability to cope starts with practicing self-compassion. Ask yourself, can you be there for yourself? आप अपने आप को खुद समझ पा रहे हैं? What is happening to you? What changes are happening to you and your body and your mind? Try to remember the last time you were on someone else's side. Focus on what it felt like and then turn it onto yourself. So as they say, if you take care of the minutes, the years will take care of themselves. So be your own best friend. These are, very simple things, but we need reminders for them. We all know that, but we forget when we are in a particular stress situation. Enjoyment is another way of being kind to yourself and can be cultivated through small moments of savoring pleasant sensations. Finally, practice self-acceptance. You are not your thoughts or your feelings. You simply have thoughts and feelings. There is no right or wrong way to feel or think in any given moment. So don't judge yourself, or judge other people. Another thing is mindfulness. Acknowledging the existence of our internal resources can be fostered by practicing mindfulness, which is like coming home to yourself. It does not change the experience, but it can bring the mind and magnify the good. bring to mind and magnify the good. So find refuge in your pleasant memories, music, or in wisdom through the practice of affirmations. Think of good times, good things, good relations. So be aware of your breathing in many different situations, and remember that the best meditation is the one you can actually do. Notice when your attention wanders, reduce distractions, and don't give away your attention. Mindfulness can also help us move through an upset. And I think the platform in which I'm talking, yoga, is the best, way to know how to have this mindfulness and compassion, and how to know and look towards your body and thoughts and emotion. What better way other than doing yoga? So another thing is learning is an inner strength that grows all other strengths. Durable changes in the brain can occur through practicing specific behaviors. Example, cultivating gratitude. You can say that you will not be driven away with the stress rating factors, and you will be thankful to yourself and looking at your strengths. These strengths, when developed well, become our inner resources. Other term which we use is grit, a passion and perseverance for long-term and meaningful goals. So, as we say, building resilience through cultivating grit. So, in tough times, you may be able to persist on your own behalf, only in your mind, and while taking one thing at a time. And when adversity strikes, we focus on being alive, remind ourselves that this too shall come to pass, and look at the long-term benefits of being, patient. Patience is also crucial to cultivating grit. We all have gone through this. A difficult situation of COVID-19 pandemic, and during lockdown, we all had that feeling that this too shall pass and we'll be moving ahead. We saw many of our near and dear ones passing away, but then we had that great passion and perseverance for long-term and meaningful goals that we have to cultivate. With time, we can cultivate this grit. Another thing which we all know, again I'm saying these are simple things, we keep on looking at these reminders but we usually forget, but they play important role. Gratitude is a magnifying glass like no other when it comes to growing our positive traits. So take time to say thank you, take pleasure in simple things, be happy for others, appreciate where we are, and recognize and celebrate our own success. And it is proven that gratitude strengthens the immune system, helps us recover from loss and trauma, allows us to see the big picture, and connects us together. It is about feeling good in the moment. So be happy, say thank you. So gratitude is important. Next is confidence. The origin of the word confidence relates to having trust or faith. We develop trust as children and when others are dependable, and first experiences of closeness shape our sense of security, and sometimes it has been observed that lack of parent-child interaction and general lack of positive regard from others can influence our self-esteem, but then we have to work toward that. So calm is a mental resource. Relaxation should be made a priority throughout the day to make it a habit. Cultivating a sense of calm can also be accomplished, as I just mentioned, through yoga and meditation. And I'm sure there might have been many webinars, and MDNI is a platform where we are advocating this yoga and meditation. It is very effective, in maintaining mental health and giving you calm and peace. So concentration practices simply focus our attention on the subject of meditation to prevent awareness of other objects. Both are effective methods for momentary disruption of mental proliferation, where our habitual attachment or aversion to feelings has a multiplying effect on our thoughts, especially those that are negative. So we are trying to break that vicious circle of negative thoughts by staying calm, by doing yoga and by meditation. The another factor is motivation. So it is another important milestone in building resilience to stress. Pursuing experiences that are stimulating and activate our reward system allows us to stay engaged and focus longer on the activity. Some of us need a greater intake of positive experience and simply need more rewards to stay motivated. So get motivated, stay motivated, and always say I can do it instead of I can't do it. So just become totally content and happy from within, then you will get all that you want. Another factor is intimacy. Our close and nurturing relationships feed our autonomy and support resilience. However, a strong sense of autonomy is necessary to foster a healthy relationship. It is a form of staying me when dealing with we. So we have to take care of our self also. To feel safe around someone's energy is a different kind of intimacy. So good friends, good relation, that helps in, you know, building resilience and coping up with stress, taking care of mental health. So this is healing, you know, good friends, good relations. Another is courage. So we can also define courage as grace under pressure. Resilience is about more than simply managing change, stress, or pain, and tap into the inner resource of courage, particularly in relationships. The word courage comes from the word heart. We can develop this resource by speaking from the heart, asserting ourselves, practicing open and authentic communication. So, courage is there, it is actually grace under pressure. Then aspiration, our dreams and aspirations, enjoy your talents, cultivate a growth mindset, and be okay with failure. You know, sometimes it happens, but it is all for the best. Draw on teachers and mentors. Surround yourself with people who appreciate you and remember your successes, who can remind you this is a phase, this will pass. You remember your earlier accomplishment and look at the future also, which is promising for you. And finally, ask your future self for advice. You may be surprised by what you hear. So, coming to this, I just explained one part when we are talking about taking care of mental health during adversity. So, we talked about understanding adversity, we talked about understanding stress, we talked about understanding resilience, you know, how to take care of that, and very simple things like compassion, gratitude, and courage can help us. Now, coming from the Unani medicine side, I'll be touching upon the basic concept for those who are new to Unani medicine, and whether some handy tips for stress relieving measures. For those who are not aware, Unani medicine is a science of which we learn the various states of body in health, when not in health, and the means by which health is likely to be lost and lost is likely to be restored. So, our main aim is to protect the health, prevent diseases by certain lifestyle measures, and if health is lost, then efforts are made to restore it. Hippocrates is the father of Unani medicine. He's the father of medicine, I would rather say. And Unani medicine is a well developed system in India. It has got strong government patronage, good infrastructure for education, practice, and practitioners are there. So, if we try to understand as per Unani medicine, first, in brief, I will tell you. Basically, we believe that there are four kind of humors in human body. So that is blood, phlegm, black bile, and yellow bile. And these humors, when they are in balance, that time you are healthy, you know. And each human being has, you know, different composition, and these humors have got properties also, like hot, moistness, dryness, and cold. So a Unani physician can assign you a particular temperament. There are four kind of temperaments based on these prevalent humors: sanguine, phlegmatic, you know, and choleric, melancholic. So according to that, advices are given what to eat and what lifestyle to be adopted, and a physician can also judge what emotional stability you have. So for example, persons with temperament of melancholic temperament or phlegmatic temperament, they are more prone to go for anxiety and depression, and they need to take extra care for taking care of their mental health. So what we believe, so if a person is having a negative interaction with the environment or surroundings, so these humors, one or all, will be, you know, altered or deranged, and they will be forming a pathological melancholy towards the black bile, and that results in, that affects the mental health of a person, and sign and symptoms appears pertaining to that. So In Unani system of medicine, I just mentioned, we adopt a holistic approach toward health promotive and preventive measures, and we talk about prevention of disease in a healthy person. We try to maintain the health, as I just mentioned. And there are many therapeutic measures also which are available for treatment of a disease. So there are many measures. One is called as Asbab-e-Sitta Zaruriya, or 6 essential factors for healthy living, which I will elaborate in the coming slides. Then we take help of regimenal therapy, Ilaj bil Tadbir, dietotherapy, Ilaj bil Ghiza, and drug therapy, Ilaj bil Dawa. These are the measures which are adopted. First one, an important one, is 6 essential factors to maintain health. What are these 6 essential factors? This is atmospheric air, food and drinks, physical movement and rest, mental movement and rest, sleep and wakefulness, retention of essentials, and excretion of waste. So if there is any imbalance in these factors, or these factors are affected, that will affect the health also. So we need to take care of these 6 essential factors for maintaining health. So looking at air, we all know it's a vital rukn. It's pneuma, essential for life. Quality of breathing air directly influence the temperament and health. Temperament of person is directly affected by the environment. For example, if somebody has phlegmatic patient, maybe in some other talk I'll be elaborating on how do we diagnose the temperament of a person. So after diagnosing the person, we can tell them na, like phlegmatic patients or person, they feel comfortable in warm environment. So looking at food and drinks, a balanced diet is essential to maintain health. Food and drinks, with the help of their quality, ensure healthy state and should be taken again as per temperament of the person. And we should avoid abrupt changes in dietary habits, and we should adopt correct dietary habits as per our temperament. Then physical activity and rest. So lack of physical activity, of course, we all know, becomes a risk factor for many lifestyle disorders. Movement can be again chosen according to temperament. It can be vigorous or mild, prolonged or moderate, and accompanied by rest or not. It is also important to see, because excessive exercises are not also recommended. There should be balance, movement and rest to maintain health. So we can beat the stress with physical activities. Then another factor is psychological activities and repose. So body is influenced by psychic states such as anger, sorrow, fear, worry, happiness, and positive emotion, as we just mentioned, boosts the immune system. And balance in emotion and psychic rest and movement play a role in preservation of existing health or for its restoration. Then the fifth factor is sleep and wakefulness. Sleep is analogous to rest and wakefulness to movement. And excessive sleeps and wakefulness causes impairment of the psychic faculties, anxiety and panic attacks. So we'll be discussing in detail these 2 factors because they have direct impact on mental health. Psychological activity and repose, and sleep and wakefulness. Then the 6th factor is elimination and retention. That means eliminating the waste products from the body and retaining the essential nutrients in the body. We need to see that that is also in balance, because excess loss of fluid, salts and nutrients in the stools cause abnormalities. So we need to have a balance in elimination and retention also. So Unani physicians clearly mention healthy life's principle according to age, gender, temperament, climate, body condition, day and night changes. So taking care of all these factors, then life principles are involved. So a lifestyle based on following golden rules: alteration in diet and fluid intake, alteration in atmospheric air, balance in sleep pattern, balance in physical and mental exercise, balance in physical and mental rest, and by regularizing bowel and bladder habits. So as I just mentioned, that we will focus on Harkat wa Sukun Nafsaniya, which is mental work and rest. So engagement of the human mind in numerous emotional and intellectual activities is necessary. Just as the body needs systematic and planned exercise and rest, Unani medicine holds that the human mind, brain also need adequate stimulation and proper relaxation as well. So first is Harkat-e Nafsaniya, looking at the aspect of mental activation and stimulation and a balance with relaxation. So there is activation and there is relaxation. So when we are looking at the mental activation, it has its sole important role. Mental health and fitness is a fundamental factor for maintaining a good lifestyle. It provides a positive state of mind, and it is highly significant for learning, adapting, strengthening, and rewiring connections throughout our life. And for dealing with life events such as trauma, change, or illness is also a direct function of our mental capacity. So our mental activation stimulation can reduce depression, anxiety, it improves self-image, self-esteem and social skills, and you keep your brain memory sharp. So there are several mental brain exercises, which can be taken use of. It is worthwhile taking every opportunity to make sure your mind is active. There can be general brain teasers, crossword puzzles, word search puzzles, learning a new language, changing home setting, decoration, household work or office work, a musical instrument, anything else that makes your mind think differently and stimulates new brain cell growth. It's effective, and studies show that reading and watching TV does not exercise the brain enough, and nor require the brain to create new connections. So we need to have some mind boggling games and on, which will help. Then looking at the mental relaxation. So according to the Oxford Dictionary, mental relaxation is when the body and mind is free from any emotional tension and anxiety. It reduces stress, depression, anxiety. So after mental stimulation, it is equally important to have mental relaxation. It also reduces stress, depression, anxiety, boosts immunity, boosts memory, physically and mentally fit. You remain by this relaxation technique and stay more active and sharp. Then you can have, when you're relaxed, you can have sound sleep, and it encourages positive thinking, and you can concentrate more, and you have fresh mood. So but then again, if we look, if we are doing in excess our mental stimulation, that is also not advisable. And if we are resting in excess, that is also not advisable. That will affect our mental health. We can have irritability, depression, psychological issues, inability to find work proper, and fatigue, GIT problems, many, if there's excess in mental stimulation. Similarly, if there's excess of mental rest, we are not doing any activity, any stimulation, then we can go in depression, dullness, drowsiness, we'll be less interested, loneliness, negative thoughts and all. So that is also not advisable. So looking at sleep and wakefulness, so an individual's health and alertness are understood as being dependent on a specific amount of sound sleep in the course of a 24-hour, and sleep is a natural periodically recurring state of inactivity characterized by the loss of consciousness and reduced responsiveness to external stimuli. So these factors also talk a balance between sleep and wakefulness, that is Norman Yatza. So we need to have a balance in that. So sleep, obviously, you need, it varies significantly over the course of your lifetime. It varies from person to person. It depends on the age and activity level, as well as your general health and lifestyle habits. So it is essential for ability to learn and process memories. It helps restore body's energy, repair muscle tissues, trigger the release of hormones and affect growth, boost the immunity, fresh and healthy look. So sleep is important. Equally is important wakefulness, because we need to stay, cheerful, active, healthy. It controls weight because we are active at that time when we are awake. So there should be balance in sleep and wakefulness also. So, but if we are sleeping in excess, then again it's a problem. You don't have to sleep. Then again there should be a balance. Otherwise, there are many diseases which will again hamper your daily activities, whether it is low energy, back pain, depression, many things. Similarly, if you're not sleeping well, again, you can have a set of problems. So you have to again see that there's a balance in sleep and wakefulness also, as per your body type and your temperament. So eat to beat the stress, we say. So in Unani therapy, the recommended diet which are often recommended is use of almonds, cashews, pistachios, avocados, garlic, berries, green leafy vegetables, and milk. They are effective and should be used for beating the stress as per the personal choice and per the advice of your physician. Then there are diets which are recommended to evacuate the pathological melancholy, which usually affect the mental health of a person. It can be, use of watermelon, pomegranate, sugarcane and grapes, pumpkin, buttermilk and curd, drinking sweet almond oil with warm water or milk. So again, this can be decided with the help of Unani physician who can tell you what is your temperament and what diet you can plan for yourself, which can give you a good feeling and improve your mental health. So and there are certain measures of regimental therapy. There's exercise, massages. There are Turkish bath, aromatherapy, irrigation, food bath, which can be made use of and can be prescribed by a Unani physician. So the regimens that are prescribed for chronic stress are hammam, cold water or lukewarm water can be used for this purpose, and aromatic baths are used. Smells and जो खुशबू जिसको कहते हैं, जिससे एक feel good factor आता है, that is advised, like rose water, lemon fragrance. Then light massages with banafsha oil or almond oil is advisable. Then natul, using of this diluted rose water, kahu decoction and banafsha are prescribed due to their exhilarant and sedative property. And then hijama or cupping, that should be done on the shoulders, and pashoya, lukewarm water with vidosa. Again, this is again under the supervision of Unani physician only, and as a Unani physician will prescribe, then only this should be taken care of. Then there are certain, single drugs which are easily available and may be prescribed by a Unani physician, like Babuna, Asgan, Malkagni, Asrol, Badranj Goya, Ustokuddus, Amla, Darchini, Kahu, and certain formulations. So we call them Mufarrehat, the certain drugs which make you feel, happy and content. Hamiras, Hab, Itrifal, Ark Jawari. These are all Unani formulation which will be prescribed by Unani physician only. These are not to be taken on your own. So just mentioning this Babuna, I just mentioned it has many properties associated with it. This is usually used in Unani medicine. Then Asgan, Vitania semnifera. Asgan is a very common drug people usually use. This is also advised. These are the properties. Then Malkangni, sharpen memory, exhilarant. These are all scientific studies done in them. Then use of Fasrol and Badranj Boya. This is a calming agent. Again, letting you know that this will be advised only by Unani physician as per the need. Then Ustokuddus is also a good brain tonic, which is advised by Unani physician. Then use of Amla. Amla, all of us are aware. This is used in Unani system also as an antioxidant brain tonic. Darchini, it is available in our kitchen. We usually use it. Then Kahu, Lactuca sativa, etc. High nutritive, and people use it, seeds also and leaves also, and salads and all. This is also prescribed. So again, before concluding, I'll say that whatever formulation and single drugs have been mentioned, that should be taken under the supervision of Unani physician only. And this is just for information purpose. So a holistic approach will help in stress management, and physical, mental, and social factors will help in coping with stress. So as there's a quotation, a diamond is a chunk of gold that did well under pressure. So another quote of Viktor Frankl, an Austrian neurologist and psychiatrist: everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. So choose your way wisely. It is up to us to which way we are choosing. We should be aware, in advance. Okay, we are not getting trapped in this vicious circle of negative thoughts and pessimism and depression. We should take efforts and at our own level. And if required, we can take consultation of any medical system, our traditional medicine system. All of these systems have got ways to help and strengthen the mental health of a person. So stay happy, stay healthy with a happy brain. That is from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this elaborative lecture. There are a few questions in the comment section if you would like to address them.
Just open the comment section.
मैम एक सवाल है जिसमें एक व्यक्ति ने पूछा है कि बहुत लोगों को नींद ना आने की समस्या होती है, तो यूनानी मेडिसिन में क्या कोई ऐसा डाइटरी रिस्ट्रिक्शन है कि हमें ये नहीं खाना चाहिए जिससे नींद हमारी बैलेंस तरीके से रहे?
जी, जैसे जनरली कहते हैं, ऐसी यूनानी सिस्टम में भी, यूनानी मेडिसिन में भी प्रिस्क्राइब है कि आप सोने से तकरीबन 2 घंटा पहले तो आप अपना डिनर कर लीजिए, उसमें वो गैप रखिए, और सोने से पहले आप स्टिमुलेटिंग होती है ना, कुछ चाहे आपका मोबाइल यूज है, टीवी यूज है, या चाय का इस्तेमाल है, कॉफी का इस्तेमाल है, वो एडवाइजेबल नहीं है। वो आपको उसका ध्यान रखना है। यू हैव टू स्टे काम। 2 घंटे कम से कम रिलैक्स रहेंगे तो आपको नींद अच्छी आएगी, वरना वो थॉट्स विल आपका माइंड रेस्ट नहीं कर पाएगा, क्योंकि कैच करता है वो वाइब्रेशन मोबाइल टीवी देख।
जी मैम, एक सवाल और है। किसी एक व्यक्ति ने पूछा है कि क्या हम ये कह सकते हैं कि बैलेंस अगर हम रखें हर चीज में तो हम एडवर्सिटी से जूझने में हम कामयाब हो सकते हैं?
जैसे मैंने कहा, जब एडवर्सिटी को डिफाइन कर रही थी कि जब हम जी रहे होते हैं तो अप्स एंड डाउन्स आते रहते हैं, तो इट इज अवर एबिलिटी टू कोप दोस अप्स एंड डाउन्स, चॉइसेस। समटाइम्स हम अपने आप को लम्हे में महसूस करते हैं और स्ट्रेस जो है हम हो जाता है, एडवर्सिटी, उस टाइम में हेल्प लेने की जरूरत पड़ती है। जैसे मैंने कहा कि दीज आर कॉमन थिंग्स जो मैं बता रही हूँ, सबको पता होता है, लेकिन हम हर किसी को जरूरत होती है कि हमें दोबारा कहा जाए, डिटेरिएट किया जाए, ताकि वी शुड कम बैक ऑन ट्रैक। So your family, your friends, your physicians, they will help you. There is no harm in taking help. Help लेनी चाहिए।
बिल्कुल मैम, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमारे दर्शकों को इतने अच्छे से इस विषय के बारे में बताने के लिए। हमारा जो फेसबुक का कमेंट सेक्शन है वो प्रशंसापूर्ण शब्दों से भरा हुआ है, तो मैं एक बार पुनः मुरारी देसाई राष्ट्रीय योग संस्थान की तरफ से और स्वयं अपनी तरफ से आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करना चाहूंगी।
थैंक यू।
साथ ही मैं संस्थान के निदेशक महोदय डॉक्टर ईश्वर वी बसव रेड्डी सर का और हमारे संस्थान के संचार एवं प्रलेखन अधिकारी मोहम्मद तैयब आलम सर का भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देती हूँ, जिनके सहयोग से, जिनकी प्रेरणा से हम इस तरीके के आयोजन कर पाते हैं। आपका भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर, और हमारी तकनीकी टीम का भी बहुत धन्यवाद जो आज जन्माष्टमी के दिन भी हमारे साथ काम कर रहे हैं। हम सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, और हमारे दर्शकों का भी हार्दिक धन्यवाद जो आज हमारे बीच मौजूद है और हमें सुन रहे हैं। आप सभी का एक बार पुनः बहुत धन्यवाद, और कार्यक्रम का समापन शांति पाठ के साथ करेंगे। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। आप सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
Thank you.
very much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.